Hey guys, this message is for PVC Panda. I just saw a video she put up, and as often happens when I watch others' videos in this community, I find myself relating personally, very intensely so. In her video, she was talking about how she's like the family fuck up, and her siblings are successful and accomplished, and her parents are pulling the whole "why can't you get your shit together" deal. Boy, do I relate to that, and I definitely want to speak out about it. I do not get along with my parents, and they are not supportive of me in any meaningful way. Neutrality would be a blessing at this point, but on both sides there's a great degree of conflict and hurt and pain and suffering, and just very toxic dynamic. You also mentioned, PVC Panda, you mentioned about how you'll never go back to Florida, like you can't even step foot in that state, and I relate to that too. In my case, the state is Colorado, where I am now, which is such a long story, but basically after trying so hard to finish my studies at uni, I just got too sick and I had to come home, and I had nowhere else to go. And so I basically came home and waited to die. Like, that's pretty much the deal with that. Sorry about that. Yeah. So, for me, yeah, coming back here was like a death sentence, so I totally relate to those feelings. Excuse me. But the whole parental thing where we wish that they didn't care, and or, we wish that they loved us, we wish we didn't care. We wish that they could accept us unconditionally and could support us unconditionally. And my experience has been very similar to your own. And I've tried, God, have I tried, to make peace with both my mother and my father, and both of them are just so critical and so negative, and so, their opinion of me is so shameful and appalling. It makes me want to crawl under a fucking rock and die. I understand that pull to relapse as well, because, like you said, you're dealing with all these emotions and you don't know how to cope. Well, that's the etiology of eating disorders. At the root of it, it's a survival mechanism when we're under significant psychological duress. So, it's totally understandable. But as far as why can't you get your shit together, that is so fucking unfair to say. Like, that's like telling somebody who's got, like, cancer or, some other pathology that isn't misunderstood to be a choice, right? Not even going there right now. Yeah, I mean, it's fucking brutal. It's brutal because outwardly people expect it to be as simple as pick up the fucking fork. And inwardly, we can try and convey the psyche of a disordered mind. But this is one of those situations where you just have to have been there to get it. So I encourage you, dear Panda, in moments where you feel completely not understood and totally alone with your suffering, remember that there's a big, unique community here. we're here for you, and I'm here for you, and I love you a lot. I have so much in my heart for you, and I hate that you're going through all this, you know. But I guess the bottom line is, I totally understand. And these parental issues go so deep. Oh my god, so deep. Like, I am haunted. I am haunted. I am absolutely tortured by the fact that I cannot cultivate a at least neutral, at least civil relationship with either of my parents. My dad and I have been estranged for years. He basically blames me for all of my medical problems. I don't know if I've told you about this before, so I'm not going to get into the whole thing, and I probably said it in 6,000 other videos. Not that I have 6,000, but you get the idea. My mom, she's very abusive. Very abusive. So yeah, like what you were saying of like, I can't deal with them. I feel you 100%, and I think a lot of us do. In my own studies, I found that, yeah, the majority of people with EDs do have some dissonance in their family dynamic and or unhealthy relationships with one or both parents. So both of us are not alone too, for what it's worth. I know that doesn't make it better, but at least you're walking in tandem with kindred spirits. You aren't on a single path leading to hell by yourself, you know? So I just wanted to reach out and give you some love and support and remind you I'm here if you ever want to talk about anything. And oh my god, medical bills. Oh my god, medical bills. This is called I will never have credit again ever in my entire life. And just, the system is so fucked up. But yeah, let me just close it by saying it's okay to not be okay, honey, okay? You've got a serious chronic illness that doesn't just go away. And it's not your fault. Remember that. It's not your fault. As many voices in your head, as many ED thoughts, as many self-deprecating, negative self-talk thoughts you have, I am hereby replacing those thoughts with, this is not your fault. You're not a fuck up. You're a beautiful soul. You deserve to live and live well. Much love, precious one. Bye for now.